Game one of the series went to the Yankees, and now the Twins will try to even the series at a game apiece. The regularly scheduled game from Target Field, with the Twins hoping to match the Yankees with the 27 wins on the season. Dick Bramer along with Burt Lilevan. Game one went to the Yankees. More specifically, it went to Derek Jeter.
I'll tell you what, Brian Dowsing in relief of Scott Baker, who started last night's ball game. He pitched 3 very good innings. He made 1 mistake, and he said it was a high changeup that Jeter hit out for a solo home run. That in the 6th inning, the second hitter that Dowsing faced here this afternoon. But not only the home run, the Twins had an opportunity in the bottom of the 6th inning with a big hit, and it was Derek Jeter with 2 outs making that signature type play that he can do. So Derek Jeter almost beat the Twins single-handedly in game one.
Well, this season series so far has been one highlighted by some big plays, some big hits along the way, whether it's a grand slam for the Yankees, grand slam for the Twins, Jeter's home run. But the one consistent thing has been very good starting pitching for both teams.
Yeah, Francisco Liriano on the mound against Andy Pettitte. Francisco Liriano, he had a tough outing in his last start, but those are his numbers in New York. His mound opponent was Andy Pettitte. Pettitte pitched 6 1/3 innings of shutout baseball. Liriano pitched a great ball game in this game, but the Yankees scored some runs late, and the Twins lost 7-1. And against Andy Pettitte, the Twins, now this is during the season and also postseason. You see, during the season, he's 10-5, but includes some postseason wins, 12-5 against the Twins. This guy has been a veteran pitcher for many years for the Yankees.
A lot of star power in this season series between the Yankees and the Twins. You're used to seeing the stars from the Yankees. The Twins have some of the best young players in all of baseball, and we would like to see the Twins in the All-Star game, and we'll learn more about how to do that when we come back. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by GMC. We are professional grade.
What a great night for baseball as Joe Mauer and the Minnesota Twins will play Game 2 of this 3-game set against the New York Yankees at Target Field. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. The time is upon us now to send in your votes for the 2010 American League All-Star team. And Joe Mauer, catcher for the Twins, no surprise, is leading the way. But another surprise is Mark Teixeira is a leading vote getter at first base. Fans, you got to do your part to vote in Justin Morneau. Morneau leads the American League in batting average. Teixeira batting under 209, which he went to up until this previous game. So the All-Star balloting, you can log on to twinsbaseball.com, or if you're coming out to the ball game, make sure you grab an All-Star ballot, punch in Justin Morneau, and send him to Anaheim for the 2010 All-Star game. Vote for all the Twins and the rest of your favorite players. You can vote early and often at twinsbaseball.com. Vote as many times as you would like. Twinsbaseball.com. That will send you to the All-Star page where you can vote for your favorite Twins. Again, when you come here to Target Field, make sure you grab an All-Star ballot and vote them in. Frankie Liriano takes to the mound for the Minnesota Twins as they try to even up this series at a game apiece. It's Bert Blyleven and Dick Kramer. First pitch next.
He's won 1-0, so now the Twins will try to even the series at a game apiece. Derek Jeter doing the offensive damage and the defensive damage in game one, and he'll headline the Menards batting order for game two. Nick Swisher hitting second, Mark Teixeira third, Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, Marcus Thames, Francisco Cervelli, Kevin Russo, and Brett Gardner.
And let's take a look at the Dodge Ram scouting report on left-handed starter Francisco Liriano. Liriano making his 9th start of the year. He's coming off his shortest outing of the year, that against the Boston Red Sox in Fenway Park. 4 2/3 innings, Twins lost that ballgame 6-2. And currently on a little 3-game losing streak where he's 0-3 with an ERA over 7. So Liriano needs to have a good outing here, kind of like what he had against the Yankees 2 starts ago. even though he got shut out. Basically, the Twins got shut out by Andy Pettitte into the 7th inning. Liriano only gave up 3 runs to this very good hitting ball club, the New York Yankees.
And he'll face Jeter to get things going. In that game, the Yankees got 1 run in 3 different innings, and in each case the Yankees got their leadoff man on and worked that runner around to score. So we'll see if Liriano can keep the leadoff man off the bases, starting with Jeter here in the first. Up and away, ball 1.
And that's what Liriano has been talking about he needs to continue to attack the strike zone. Feels he's been falling behind in a count and getting into that hitter's count. 17 walks in 52 and 2/3 innings for Liriano.
Fly ball center field, harmless enough. Span with the catch, 1 away.
Liriano has a very good fastball. His strikeout pitch, where he's averaged a strikeout per inning so far this year, is that nasty slider. And then he'll work in the circle changeup. So he has 3 pitches when he's on. He can throw over at any time.
And now Liriano will go after Nick Swisher.
Swisher 0 for 3 in game 1. I guess we call it game 1.
Deep to left field. Delman Young back, plays it on a hop against the wall. Swisher digs for second. And Liriano gives up a double to Swisher with 1 out in his first inning.
I just left that ball up right there. Swisher, a 1-out double.
Check out the Twins in the field. Delman Young in left field. Leonard Span in center. Michael Kadire in right. And an infield of Harris, Hardy, Hudson, and Morneau. The only change from game 1 is Drew Butera behind the plate. Joe Mauer is the designated hitter for the Twins. So Butera will be calling the pitches here with Teixeira at the plate and a runner at second with 1 out.
Let's take a look at a pitch from Liriano to Swisher. Jumping on that first fastball, kind of rode right into that swing of Swisher, his 7th double of the year.
Half swing and a strike.
Good changeup right there in a fastball count, and that's where that circle changeup, very important for Liriano. See the low average of Mark Teixeira, and that's what Robbie Ince-Mikowski was talking about. He's the leading vote getter for the All-Star game at first base. Come on, folks. Votes for Justin Morneau.
Bouncer left side. Harris has it. 2 down. And Swisher staying at second base. Well, you look at the other first baseman in the league. My goodness, just within the American League Central. You got Konerko among the league leaders in home runs. You got Miguel Cabrera for Detroit at first base. And so Teixeira, so far, unworthy of the top spot among first basemen. 2 down, and here's Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a single last night in game 1 of the series. And that's outside of ball. Mariners did the Twins another big favor today. They came back from 3 runs down. They put 4 runs up in the 8th inning to beat the Tigers 5-4.
Rodriguez just 1 for 6 lifetime against Liriano, but he has drawn 3 walks. And Liriano struck him out 3 times.
There's a strike on the inside corner.
Brian O'Nora behind the plate. We saw Chris Guccione have a pretty big strikeout in that, or big strike zone in that first game against the Yankees.
Particularly when Chamberlain and Rivera came into the game. And Butera will go to the mound.
Well, you say Chamberlain and Rivera, but you know what? When I'm out there and I find out, and in the past, if an umpire is going to call that big strike zone, I have to use that to my favor. So, you know, I mean, Chamberlain and Rivera, they were hitting the glove, and Cervelli was moving out further, and he kept hitting the glove. So the Twins pitchers had the same opportunity.
Down and in a ball, 2-1. gloves it. And a 10-pitch scoreless first inning. Going to run across. We'll see what the Menards lineup looks like for game 2 of the series. Denard Span had a good first game. They'll be followed by Orlando Hudson, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Michael Kanire, Delman Young, J.J. Hardy, Brendan Harris, and Drew Butera.
And a Jeet scouting report on left-handed starter Andy Pettitte. These two guys hooked up in New York, Pettitte and Liriano. And Pettitte won that ball game, but he's coming off the season's worst start. A 5-inning performance against the Rays in New York. He gave up 6 earned runs in a loss to the Rays. But he's always been tough on the Twins. In regular season, we showed it in the open, 20 career starts, 10 wins, only 5 losses, and an ERA about 3.5.
Pitches up high to Denard Span. In Pettitte's last start, he gave up 3 of the 4 home runs he's allowed this year. And the Twins come into this game having not homered in 7 straight games. The last Twin home run was in the 8th inning a week ago yesterday. That's a fair ball down the line. Span wheels around first, digging for second. His 4th hit of this series, and Span stands at second base.
Like you mentioned, Span, who got 3 hits in game 1 of this series, ends up hitting his 9th double of the year, pulling that pitch past the diving Teixeira into that right field corner. So a good start to this ball game for the Twins and Denard Span. Let's see if they can get him to score. Over the last 4 ball games, the Twins have left 49 men on base.
Yikes.
That's way too many.
And Hudson in charge of getting Span at least up another base. Curve over for a strike. Hudson in game 1. Lined out, a couple of ground outs and a strikeout.
Hudson hitting .283 as a right-handed hitter. Both home runs coming from this side of the plate. But his goal right here, get Span over to third.
And he tries to push the ball to the right side and flares it foul. 2 strikes. Pettitte trying to pitch around the leadoff double here. The Twins, who went without scoring a run last night and today in the first game, hoping to draw first blood here in the first. Got him. A strikeout. Cervelli picking up the loose ball and bumping into Hudson. One away. And the Yankees defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Kevin Russo in left field. Brett Gardner in center. Nick Swisher in right. And an all-star infield. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, with Cervelli doing the catching in Posada's absence. Jorge Posada on the disabled list with a broken foot.
Yeah, the Yankee defense second in the American League behind the Twins in errors. 19 errors. The Twins only with 9 so far this year.
Span going to third, and Cervelli's throw not in time. A close call, and Rodriguez dug out a one-hop throw and nearly tagged out Span.
Well, Rodriguez is going to ask Chris Guccione why he called him safe right there, but sure looks like Span was able to get his foot on the bag. Hudson unable to do it, so Span stealing his 3rd base of the series. Stole a couple bases in game 1, and you can see that he was surely safe right there. Cervelli saying no, but Span stealing
his 3rd base of the series.
And his 13th of the season.
So Hudson couldn't get him to third, so he took it on his own. And Mauer to center, down for a hit, and the Twins are on the board. So the designated hitter hits, and the Twins take a 1-0 lead.
Mauer picking up his 22nd run driven in. Looked like a high fastball right here, and Joe just that inside-out swing. And he continues to swing a hot bat against the New York Yankees.
Indeed, a well-placed single. And the Twins have a 1-0 lead. And now a pop-up out of play. Morneau hitless in game 1 with a warning track fly ball to right, a pair of walks, and a strikeout in the 8th against Jabba Chamberlain. Morneau hit the last home run over a week ago for the Twins.
Justin 5 for 13 lifetime against Pettit.
2 strikes.
Pettit at 37 years old. This is his 16th major league season. Beautiful view of Target Field.
Lifted foul. Most of those here tonight. Of course, it's a sellout crowd, but say roughly about a fifth of this crowd here for the start of the resumption of last night's game. And then over time, of course, the seats filling in. And if you just joined us, the Twins lost the first game 1-0 on a Derek Jeter home run. 2 strikes here to Morneau. The Twins with a 1-0 first inning lead here. Morneau flips it foul. Twins baseball is brought to you in Sony High Definition. Everybody with the Yankees impressed with what they've seen here at Target Field. So the Yankees opened up their own new ballpark last year. Grounded to Rodriguez. To Cano, to Teixeira, and it's a double play that gets the Twins out in the first inning. But they got a hit from Mauer to score Span, and it's 1-0 Minnesota. 5,493 fishable lakes, 15,000 fishable streams, and leads the nation in fishing license sales per capita with over 700,000 licenses sold annually.
Wow, so if you live in Minnesota, you better love to fish.
You know what I did a few years ago with Cano at the plate? I bought a lifetime fishing license, so I don't have to buy any more annual licenses.
Very nice.
Here's Cano. He'll be followed by Thames and Cervelli. Behind second, and Hudson does what he can with it, but Cano reaches with an infield hit.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. The ball got in on Cano, and he just hit it in the right spot, right up the middle. So the second hit off of Lariano. See, Hudson playing about even up, but he has to go to his right and then try to shovel it over there, but Cano too quick.
Here's Thames. Kind of figured Thames would be in the lineup. He's got pretty good numbers against Lariano, 5 for 11 with 3 home runs. There's a drive to center, span back, and Thames is retired on the first pitch. So the Yankees swinging early against Lariano, and we've seen some teams do that to stay out of those 2-strike counts. You can ask a question of us online at carsoup.com/baseball. James Kiekhofer from Marshall down in the southwestern part of the state. Baseball players are superstitious. As broadcasters, do we have, you and I, any pregame rituals?
Well, I really don't. I don't believe I do. I was very superstitious as a player, but no, I like sticking my pencil up my nose. Does that help?
But that's not so much a superstition as a personal habit.
Right. How about yourself?
No, I've never been a superstitious person. When it usually comes up is when someone is throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, and then the old philosophy was that as a baseball announcer you shouldn't mention that. I guess that's the closest thing an announcer would have to a superstition, or try to avoid bad luck by mentioning a no-hitter.
Well, how can you not mention a no-hitter? I mean, the viewers at home want to know what's going on.
And in this day and age when there's 150 channels out there, you got to mention to your viewers what they're watching for those who might be scanning through. At least that's been my attitude. 1-1 to Cervelli. Check swing. We'll see if he went. Yep. 1-2.
Scott Berry, the first base umpire, saying that Cervelli went too far. Mentioned in the first game that Cervelli's going to get more playing time now that Jorge Posada's on a disabled list. The backup catcher now, former Twin Chad Moeller.
Another check swing. Did he go on that one? They won't even appeal. Don't you have a deal where you kick the chalk line back and forth on the mound as a superstition?
I did. I feel like this with the chalk the way it is. At the Metrodome, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the chalk out, but I would want to go kick it 9 times going out and then hopefully 9 times coming back. And that would mean I went 9 innings.
And Lariano just missed the inside corner with a fastball, and it's a full count.
Well, Lariano, he'll throw that slider inside. This time he tries that fastball inside. Chris Guccione would have called that a strike.
See if Cano takes off here on the 3-2 pitch. He does not. The pitch tap foul.
Well, he had a great month of April. You can see that he had 23 shutout innings at one time. And the month of May, he won his first game, but then over the last 3 starts, a higher ERA. So he'd like to get back on that winning track.
And it's a walk, putting Cervelli aboard and sending Cano to second base.
Now, walks haven't really hurt Lariano. In his last start in Boston, he gave up 2 home runs. The first 2 home runs he gave up all season long. Came into this ball game 52 2/3 innings, only 17 walks, again with 52 strikeouts.
Beltre got him. Youkilis got him with a couple of men aboard. And here's Kevin Russo. Russo in game 1 hit 9th and went 0 for 3. Ball one.
Yeah, Russo has never faced Liriano. Just getting called up again for the second time from AAA. He got called up when Jorge Posada was put on a disabled list.
There's a strike. Yankees have only grounded into 32 double plays. To put that in perspective, the game ended this afternoon, early this evening, what have you, with the Twins grounding into their 54th double play. Swing and a miss, 0-2, 1-2.
So this is what Liriano can do in situations with runners on and one out. He can pick up that strikeout. That was the slider right there. Russo did not have a very good swing. See if they go back to it again.
Got him. And it looks like Russo could swing at that all night long and not make contact.
Really better off chopping wood.
2 down.
Well, Butera going in, and then that little bit of a slider. You can see it's a nasty slider when he can throw it like that. Picking up his first strikeout.
Here's Gardner. A couple of hits and 6 at bats against Liriano. Hit second in game 1, dropping down to 9th in game 2. Strike on the outside corner. That's the type of strike we saw in game 1 late in the game today.
Well, the outfield has a chance to come in a little bit because Gardner got occasional power, but more of a singles type hitter.
Missing the inside corner, 1-1. One and one. So the Yankee center fielder, 2-1. Butera trying to settle down Liriano. Two and one. And now 2-2.
Well, we've seen Liriano when a left-handed or a right-handed hitter, he'll work off that third base side of the pitching rubber, but then when a left-hander up, he will work off the middle part of the pitching rubber just to try to hit that inner half of the plate a little bit better.
And that's a double hit. And a foul ball. Brian O'Nora checking with Chris Guccione to see if the ball had been contacted twice by the bat.
Take a look at this ball right here. He hit off the bat. See Liriano, he will work off of this side of the pitching rubber when there was a right-handed hitter up, but with a left-hander he'll move over toward that first base side. Great camera angle right there, right over the mound.
And another 2-2 pitch grounded to Mick Kelleher. Gardner set, Liriano ready to bring in another 2-2 pitch. And he wastes another one.
See, that's the type of hitter that Gardner is, just kind of a slap type hitter, a pesky type hitter.
154 at bats and only 23 strikeouts, so he's not the easiest guy to put away. And with his speed, if he puts it in play, he'll get a lot of base hits. So Liriano again on 2-2. Check swing to fill the count. Jeter on deck. Cervelli walked on a 3-2 pitch. And now Cervelli and Cano will leave early on the 3-2 pitch.
And Liriano's got a good fastball, but he also has a lot of confidence in that slider and changeup. And there's the slider for strike 3.
Got him looking. Yankees got their leadoff man on. This time Liriano kept the Yankees from scoring, and it's still 1-0.
We're pleased to be joined by the #1 Yankees fan, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. And Mr. Giuliani, you're in town giving a speech at the Get Motivated seminar. This is your first trip to Target Field. What are your impressions of this place?
Really terrific. I love how wide open it is. It's a great ballpark. Great, beautiful ballpark.
Now, when you look at the Yankees, they're obviously your favorite team and a team you follow very much. But what are your impressions of the Minnesota Twins, Justin Morneau, Joe Mauer? How much do you like watching this team play baseball?
Those are two of the best players in baseball. I mean, it's remarkable having them batting 3-4. You know, it reminds me of Marison Mantle. That's the kind of, or when the Red Sox had Ortiz and Big Papi. You know, that's the kind of impact it can have.
Ball goes foul. Lucky for you. You paid as much attention as I was at. Now, I got to ask you, the Yankees have won 13 out of the last 14 now over the Minnesota Twins. What is up with that? Why are they beat the Twins so many times?
I don't understand it. I mean, there are teams that are not nearly as good as the Twins that give us much more trouble. So I don't know what it is. It could be luck. It could be good. I mean, the last game could have gone either way, right? That could have been a home run in the 9th inning.
Well, Mr. Giuliani, we appreciate you taking time to join us. Thanks very much. Enjoy Target Field.
Congratulations. It's really a terrific ballpark.
Thank you very much, sir. Dick and Bert?
Thank you, Robbie. Rudy Giuliani in town here to speak at the, as Robbie mentioned, the Get Motivated seminar. And one of the other speakers, Twins manager Ron Gardenhire. And General Colin Powell spoke. Brett Favre, Sarah Palin. It was a big deal driving through downtown early this afternoon to get here. And it's kind of a logjam.
Brett Favre have to say he's not coming back.
I think he's leaving open the possibility that he might continue to play football for the Minnesota Vikings. One strike to Delman Young. And now a ball. Twins putting in right-handers. Kadire and Young and Hardy, Harris, Ron Coomer. Will right-handers have any advantage against Pettit?
I don't know about that. Maybe right here. Is that one? Might sneak in there.
Going to die in front of the left fielder Russo for a one-out single.
You know, we've all seen Andy Pettitte pitch for a lot of years against us, and for me, with him, the one thing about facing him as a right-hander, guys, is obviously that cutter that he rolls down and in on you and makes it really tough. I always thought with Andy Pettitte, if you could make him get the ball up in the zone, you had a better chance, because that means you weren't going to swing at that one as a righty that seemed like you were on it, and it was going to hit you in that back foot, that slurvy cutter, guys, that, you know, he's made a living at throwing for years. Getting the ball up, very important tonight against Andy.
Yeah, almost the same type of pitchers, wouldn't you say? I mean, Liriano throwing maybe a little bit harder than Pettitte right now, because Pettitte's 37 years old, but Liriano also that nasty slider.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, when Andy was a young guy, he had that same type of slider. I don't think he ever threw as hard as Frankie, or had the same kind of slider. The one thing that Andy did is he always cut the ball, Bert. And when you always cut the ball like Mariano Rivera, you have a tendency to know what's coming, and you go out of the zone to try to hit him. And I think that's where he's been successful, at getting guys swinging out of the zone instead of just making it be a strike.
Yeah, one other thing that Andy Pettitte's very good at, that's holding on runners at first base. Excellent pickoff move for Andy Pettitte. This was his 467th Major League start. There's the move over there.
Young kind of hypnotized for a while, but he got back. Mayor Giuliani talked about in the ninth inning, the last inning, that ball almost was a home run. The ball he was talking about came off the bat of J.J. Hardy. Here's another look at Pettitte's move. Slide step, and Hardy chips it to left field. Russo is there. And out number 2. Tickets available for the Twins games against the Royals coming up starting on June 8th, the start of the next homestand. The best plan is to plan ahead. Sellouts have become the norm this year, and to reserve your seats for the Twins-Royals games coming up in the next homestand, call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com tonight. Royals beat the Rangers 5-2 today. And the Rangers make up the end of this homestand starting on Friday night. Brendan Harris. Breaking ball, low, ball 1.
I mentioned Pettitte making his 467th Major League start. Great win-loss record in his career. 234 wins, only 136 losses.
Two and 0. Pettitte coming off a loss. It was his first loss in 14 starts. Going back to last year.
There's his career numbers. Outstanding.
There's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1.
Two-time 20-game winner back in 1996 for the Yankees. He was 21-8, and then in 2003, 21-8, both of them with the Yankees. Dalman Young at first base, a couple stolen bases in 3 attempts.
With Spansteel, the Twins are 25 out of 29, a very good stolen base percentage team-wise. Two and 2. Harrison at third base again for Nick Punto, still bothered by a sore finger.
That was that breaking ball that Ron Coomer was talking about. He can change speeds with it. Took a little bit off of that one, and then he'll throw that one almost like a Liriano type slider down and in.
A little tapper in front of Rodriguez. And the inning ends. Twins get another hit. They leave Young aboard. We go on to the third inning with the Twins up 1-0. ballpark. Wouldn't that be something to have another all-star game here in the Twin Cities? Had it in 1965, had it at the Metrodome in 1985. Derek Jeter will lead off the third. Jeter with a fly ball to Span. 33 pitches for Liriano through 2 innings, and a foul ball on the first pitch of the third. Jeter's home run, the only run scored in the first game of this series. Home run into the bullpen in the 6th inning. Now a 2-hopper, make it a 3-hopper. It's an out, 1 away.
You know, Robbie Inspikowski had a chance to talk to Robinson Cano between innings, and I know Robbie asked him about Derek Jeter. How is it to play with this guy, you know, to your right? Cano, the left second baseman, of course, Jeter at short, and Cano, you know, this guy he's our captain. You know, he basically said, you know, he leads by example, not only on the field, but off the field. Right there, a little tapper to third. He hustled down that line. He didn't say that that's an out. And Ron Coomer, you've been around Derek Jeter. I mean, that's exactly right, is it not?
It is, Bert. The one thing that I can say about Derek, other than that he's a great leader and a great player and, you know, all those things, the one thing that was the most impressive was how good he was in big games. It was just unbelievable how he would rise to the occasion when we'd have a big ball game, and he would always be the guy to get the big hit.
Strike one to Swisher. If a manager had 25 Derek Jeters, he'd have a really good team, but he wouldn't have a headache in the world. Imagine, you know, seriously, I mean, he hasn't done anything to bring any disrepute to the Yankee organization at all. He's been a model citizen and a model ball player.
He really has.
You'd want your son to play baseball the way he plays baseball.
And the way he lives life. I mean, you don't see him in the tabloids. You don't see all that stuff that comes with sometimes Yankee players.
Nice recovery by Harris. He didn't panic and threw him out. 2 down.
Had a little tough time finding the handle on that baseball. That's what they say. Find the handle of the baseball. Swisher hitting it sharply, and Harris knocking it down. You can see right there. Okay, get it, and then show off that great arm he has across the diamond.
2 down, and Teixeira. And strike one. Teixeira hit a ground ball to Harris back in the first inning. Busted bat and a little pop-up short left center field, and it's going to die in front of Young. So Teixeira gets a bloop hit. Cano's single in the second came on a broken bat, and now a 2-out busted bat single here in the third.
Well, you play Teixeira deep anyway because he has tremendous power, and then he takes that full swing and the bat breaking, so the ball, you're thinking, I'm sure, as an outfielder, that I've got to stop for a second, then pick up the ball, and that ball just kind of blooped in. So the third hit of the ball game for the Yankees.
Now Rodriguez get a 1-hopper back to Liriano to wrap up the first inning. Half swing, they'll appeal. No, ball one.
Well, it looked like a pretty good pitch. Take a look at the pitch. Well, I see a swing right here, but that looked like a pretty good pitch anyway. Middle in.
And Butera, for at least the third time, coming out to the mound to talk to Liriano.
You know what, Butera, I mean, you want to make sure, and the Twins do, they use more than one sign with the runner at first base. Now, Teixeira doesn't have any stolen bases, but it's a habit that, you know, Butera, I'm sure, along with Joe Mauer, they want those pitchers to get into, is realize with a runner at first, I'm going to give you more than one sign. And what's the indicator?
There's a fastball that zips over the inside corner and evens the count. Two and one. Going over the slider, and it's 2-2.
And able to get that slider over in a fastball situation.
That was one of his issues in his last start against the Red Sox. He didn't seem to have real good command of that slider. Two and two to Alex Rodriguez. And 3-2.
Ryan O'Nora kind of got up real quick. I thought he was going to ring him up.
Teixeira will take off. He reached with a 2-out single.
Take a look at this slider right here, down and in. All right, through Brett Gardner, a 3-2 slider.
Tapper to third. Harris across the diamond. Been kept busy today. 4 assists for Brendan Harris and 3 shutout innings for Liriano. Player of the game, text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234. Denard Span leading the balloting so far, and why not? Led off the Twins at bats with a double and scored on Joe Mauer's single. Drew Butera leading off the bottom of the third, and during the bottom of the third, the camp director for the Twins fantasy camp with Butera getting his ground ball bid for an extra base hit smothered by Teixeira. Stan Dickman is here to talk about the Twins fantasy camp, which is one of the highlights of a Minnesota winter for those of us who've been down there.
It's good to hear that, Dick. We appreciate that. No, it is, particularly last winter, it got so long. It was good to be out of this and down. Although it was chilly in Fort Myers this year, it's still very, very much warmer than it is up here, right, Bert?
So you are promoting the fantasy camp, and you want everybody that's interested to get hold of you and find out what the cost is and when it is and everything that's involved. I can tell you firsthand, we have a great time.
www.twinsbaseball.com or call us toll free at 888.
Takes a seat.
Big breaking ball right there. There you go, Stan. Enjoy a week of living in Major League Baseball experiences. I mean, it's great. I mean, 1 week of coming down to Fort Myers, Florida, and playing baseball. How many games did we end up playing last year if you're a camper?
You're going to play at least 8 games during the course of the week, so you get a lot of baseball.
And the thing that I hear, Stan, from a lot of people that I've talked with about the camp, they say, oh, I haven't played baseball in 25, 30 years. I used to play in high school, play some town team ball, and I haven't played. And I don't think I'm ready for it. And I tell them, well, what's your answer to that?
Dick, that's the first thing that I hear from most people that contact me is, it's been a long time since I've played, and I tell them they're going to fit right in.
If they saw us play, they'd know they wouldn't be out of place.
Although I think you two guys are a little hard on our campers up here. I watched some of the broadcasts. In fact, I watched most of your broadcasts. And you compare some of the bloops out here to our fantasy camp. And not that I take umbrage to that, but I think you both admit we do have some players down there, too. There's some good ball players.
No, there are not. No, they're all old and they can't play.
They're not all like me.
2-2 to Span. One of the nice perks you've got now, and you had it at the Metrodome, but a little special treat. If you sign up for the fantasy camp, there's a fantasy camp reunion game that will be played here at Target Field, right?
Yeah, how about that? September 11th, if you register by July 1st.
Span gets his 5th hit of this series off the glove of Teixeira, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Bernard's hitting the ball.
Well, making good contact right there. That little short hop to Teixeira, Gold Glove winner, playing it off to his right a little bit. You see the high fastball and Span jumping all over it. And Teixeira, you see him right there, getting that little short hop and trying to knock it down. He hits off his glove. And the Twins get their 4th hit of the ball game. Span second.
Here's Hudson, who struck out against Pettit with Span at second and nobody out. Then Span promptly stole third and scored on Mauer's single. And a strike called. Stan, we had in the camp last year, in fact, I think the last 2 years, a total of 8 teams, right?
That's right.
And so we got roughly 100 campers, but we're always looking for more. And it's a great opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the game of baseball and hang out with some of the Twins legends.
If for no other reason, it's an opportunity to give you an excuse to get back into shape. That was really the motivation for me in 2002 when I went to my first camp. No, well, I was at that time, but I fell from grace.
Well, I go to those too, and it doesn't help me at all. But you know what? You brought in Frank Viola, you brought in Tom Bernansky. You're bringing in new guys all the time, and I think that's what is so fun about the camp as far as even an ex-pro, is you get to reminisce and talk baseball.
And a double play. Hudson making a bid up the middle. Looked like the ball hit either Pettit and or the mound, and it's an inning-ending double play.
Supposed to have a longer inning.
Our thanks to Stan Dickman.
Thank you guys very much.
How many runs scored in this series so far? Yankees won a ball game 1-0 in game 1. Now the Twins are leading game 2 1-0. And Robinson Cano will lead off the 4th against Francisco Liriano. Tap foul, 1 strike. Cano started the 2nd with a single, got as far as second base. And Liriano's pitched well with 3 shutout innings so far.
Yeah, 14 batters up. Gets strike 1 on 9 of the 14.
And Cano with another base hit up the middle. That's where his first hit went. And he's aboard leading off the 4th. AT&T Trivia. Who was the last Twins pitcher to defeat Andy Pettitte. It's been a while. The Twins haven't beaten him for a long time. I'm going to go Brad Radke.
I'm going to look at my records.
Here's Marcus Thames. And there's a strike. Thames went after the first pitch from Liriano, hit a towering fly ball to Denard's fan and center. And now the inside corner. When Liriano was good in April, we saw an awful lot of that. Moving the ball outside corner, inside corner, and hitting his spots. And obviously there's been less of that in the month of May with 3 straight losses. Foul tip. Butera can't quite hang on. Twins saw a lot of Thames, or he saw a lot of the Twins when Thames was with Detroit.
Tim's DHing because he's got a little bit of a sprained right ankle.
2 strikes. Just missing. He sprained it when he ran up the baseline and stepped on his bat. After making contact, he spun the bat up the baseline and was watching where the ball was going and then stepped on the bat and was lucky he didn't injure himself more seriously. Skied to the right side of the infield, and Hudson with the catch, 1 away. You can visit the official online shop of the Minnesota Twins at twinsbaseball.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the twinsbaseball.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Here's Cervelli, who drew a walk against Liriano his first time up. Ball 1. I think we saw it from Scott Baker last night and in his start before that, and maybe we're seeing a little bit more of that from Liriano too. He takes Cervelli takes ball 2. It seems as if both pitchers are getting more ground ball outs. Particularly Baker got a cluster of ground ball outs in his 5 innings worth of work last night.
Yeah, 8 ground ball outs in the 5 shutout innings. Couple double plays turned behind him.
There's a ground ball to third. Safe at first. Cervelli beat the relay. So the inning alive, 2 away.
Well, Cervelli hustling down that line, very quick for a catcher. Orlando Hudson got that ball at second base, and then he kind of stepped out back toward the outfield. Right here, you see kind of winding up. And that little hesitation right there allows Cervelli to beat out that possible double play.
And that'll bring up Kevin Russo. Pitch taken low, ball 1.
think we mentioned it last night, Dick. You're seeing youngsters like Russo and Cervelli getting an opportunity to play. Young guys that kind of signed with the Yankee organization, spent time in the minor leagues. Russo, the number 20 pick for the Yankees back in 2006 out of Baylor University. So they're trying to add, because of some injuries like Nick Johnson and also to Posada. This guy's getting an opportunity to get some playing time with some future Hall of Famers like Jeter and Rodriguez, and maybe Teixeira in the future.
Now, injuries can happen at any time, but one of the reasons the Yankees have had an extended run of excellence, they've managed to keep their key players on the field at critical times. Last year, Rodriguez missed some time, but he was back with the team for the last 4 months. Jeter, with the exception of 1 year, has been pretty injury-free. Same for Teixeira. But what you're seeing also, perhaps, some of these more veteran Yankee players like Posada, Johnson, less so Granderson. He's a younger guy. But they've been dinged up with some injuries, and that opens up an opportunity for the likes of a Kevin Russo. 3-1 to Russo. Liriano trying to take care of the number 8 hitter here, and here comes Butera to the mound again.
Yeah, they're just not on the same wavelength, because Butera has gone out there at least a half a dozen times.
As Mauer, the designated hitter, so far he's driven in the only run of this game back in the first inning. Twins trying to get to the bottom of the 4th with that 1-0 lead. 3-1. I haven't seen a Yankee hitter, I don't think, make solid contact with that slider yet tonight.
That's a nasty slider. It's got tremendous bite, tremendous rotation. Looks like a fastball, and the bottom just drops out of it.
That's hit into the left field corner, and a fair ball, and it's going to tie the game. And it's a double for Russo, and Cervelli hustling out that ground ball and staying out of the double play has kept the inning alive, and the Yankees take advantage of it.
Oh, that was a breaking ball. It sure looked like it. He just left it up, and Russo jumping all over it. You see the breaking ball staying about belt high. Russo hitting it into that, down that left field line. So Russo, his second double of the year, picking up his 4th RBI.
It would have been interesting if a fan had actually touched that ball, what the umpires would have done. They have the option of awarding 3 bases to a runner. With 2 outs, they may have done that, or they may have stopped Cervelli at third base with fan interference.
That's why playing the Yankees, you have to play perfect baseball. That's a double play ball that should have been turned, and then the Yankees so far have made that little hesitation by Hudson pay for it by 1 run so far. And hopefully to stop right here and get Gardner out.
1-1. And in scoring, now you've got the Gardner, the number 9 batter, who hits here in the 4th. And you lengthen the Yankee lineup. You give them even more opportunities. Backhanded by Hardy. Wow. Got him by an eyelash. Great play by J.J. Hardy with Gardner flying down the line, and the inning comes to a close.
first game. A double, leadoff double. Joe Mauer picking up an RBI. We just saw Russo right there with an RBI double off of Liriano to tie the game at 1 apiece.
Joe Mauer will lead off the Twins fourth. He'll be followed by Justin Morneau and Michael Kadire. Down low, ball 1. Mauer drove in the first run of the game for the Twins in the first with a 1-out single to left center, scoring Denard Span from third base.
Joe is now 8 for 16 lifetime against Andy Pettitte.
1-1. Mauer, as the catcher in game 1, went 1 for 4. Also hit a line drive off the back of the Yankee pitcher. And it deflected high in the air into short left field, where it was caught by Alex Rodriguez. That was the first Twins at bat this afternoon in the continuation of last night's game. And the Twins caught a tough break right out of the chute here this afternoon. 2-1 to Mauer. That's well hit to left field. It is back and caught on the track. Right at that Budweiser sign, and of course we saw last year that was kind of Mauer's pocket where so many of his home runs went out at the Metrodome.
Yeah, if you ask Joe, I think he probably thought he had enough to get it out of here, but that swing of Joe Mauer, that's where his power is. That's almost where he hit his home run in New York, but this time Rizzo going all the way back to the wall, crashing into the wall, and making a nice catch.
So 1 down, and here's Morneau.
Yeah, Russo making a very nice catch.
There was that spot at the other ballpark, about 3-4 rows back in left field, and Mauer seemed to drop about 10 of his home runs in there last year. 1-0 to Morneau. And now 2-0. Morneau bounced into an inning-ending double play in the first inning. Popped up, it's back and out of play. 2-1. Trying to reclaim the lead after the Yankees tied it up in the top of the fourth. The end of the bat might have cracked his bat, and a little fly ball to center. Gardner with the grab, out number 2. Michael Kadire coming to the plate, and he's had some home runs home run bids that have died on the warning track. Ron Coomer, kind of a frustrating series of at-bats for some Twins hitters.
I think a frustrating series, and I think a frustrating season so far early in the year for some of the Twins hitters. I know Michael's hit a couple balls kind of towards the bullpen area that he's really blasted that didn't go anywhere, especially when it was cold. You know, the ball Joe just hit, I know that ball's a home run in probably 90% of the other ballparks in the league. And right now, I know the Twins hitters are feeling like they are not knocking in the runs that they should, and they're going to try to start doing some things differently, you know, and you don't really want them to, but they're going to, just because they feel like they're not getting the home run ball. And, you know, you look at some of these swings. This ball here, Hardy took a good rip at a cutter from Mariano Rivera that ends up on the track. And now this ball Joe hit, you know, that ball's hit pretty good with a little bit of topspin on it. It really didn't carry the way, you know, you might see it at the Metrodome. But I know the Twins hitters are very, very frustrated with the lack of home runs that have been hit so far.
Well, Ron, you know, at the first, couple months into the season, we had the cold weather, but the last couple of days have been warm, and I haven't seen really that much difference as far as the flight of the ball.
To deep right center field. Halfway up the wall, Kadire has a double. So Kanayer with a 2-out double off the fence in right center field.
And now, guys, you look at that ball. If you go to the new Yankee Stadium, that's a homer. Tampa, that's a homer. Texas, that's for sure a home run. You know, so those balls right there get frustrating for guys when they're hitting balls 400 feet or 380, 390, and they're ending up with a double or an out.
Well, the one thing, Rondo, I mean, you walk in here and you look out to right center field. I'm not talking about how it's carrying elsewhere, but to right center field with that high wall, the scoreboard out there, visually, that just looks like it's a long ways from home plate and a long ways to hit one out. So I don't know if that, you know, I mean, it's going to take a pretty good poke to get one over that scoreboard in the high wall in right center field.
If you look at the center field side of that scoreboard, I have not seen one ball go deep into the stands, even in batting practice, in that area.
So the dimensions, more than how the ball is carrying or not carrying, the dimensions to right center is going to make it pretty hard, I would think, to hit one out.
Well, this ball right there down that third base line, foul off the bat of Delman Young. The Twins can get a 2-out hit here.
Yankees got one to tie the game. And now off the screen in front of the Yankee dugout.
Pettit tried to keep that ball down and take a look at where that pitch is.
Box Tracks brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Pettit and Cervelli with a long chat. The other side of the coin is for every drive like the one Mauer hit that stayed in the ballpark, the Twins pitching staff, particularly those signed to long-term contracts here, are going, all right, we got a chance in this ballpark. Swing and a miss. Young strikes out. Kanayer left at second. We head to the fifth in a 1-1 game.
Pretty good view here up high above left field, isn't it?
Absolutely. As long as we get circled by Bird, that's all that we wanted.
There you go, Bird. You made a bunch of young kids' days by circling them.
Oh, that's great. You are hereby circled, and thank you for being Twins fans.
Derek Jeter drives it into the corner in right field. And it is a fair ball. It bounces high off the wall and is aboard with a leadoff double. So Jeter gets his first hit against Liriano, jumping on the first pitch and dropping a fly ball to the warning track and right.
Well, Jeter, a hitter that uses the whole field, just takes that fastball the other way. It kept slicing away, bouncing back to Kadire. He gets it back in quickly, but for Jeter, his 10th double of the year. And for the Yankees, their 6th hit of the ball game off of Liriano.
So Liriano now goes after Swisher. He has 2 strikeouts tonight. Liriano does. They both came at the end of the second inning to the 8 and 9 hitters. Bouncer to third. Harris being kept very busy here tonight. One away. One of the reasons the Twins like Nick Punto. He's able to field ground balls at third, and Harris doing a good job here tonight.
Yeah, good pitch right there by Liriano. Looked like a changeup right there. And Swisher, I'm sure his thought process was get Jeter over. But that changeup got the barrel of the bat out front, and Jeter still at second base.
Almost half the outs have come on ground balls to the left side. Here's Teixeira. Hit one of those ground balls to Harris, and then he also singled in the third. And we were talking about the ball not carrying here. And I've just mentally tried to think back to the games we saw here. Going back to the exhibition series, we saw Pujols hit one to right center field that just seemed to dive. Span made a nice catch. Here's a fly to center. And Span retreats a couple of steps. Jeter setting up for a tag. And Jeter will advance on a fly ball. And maybe that was an omen, because from memory now, I can only think of one opposite field home run in this ballpark, and that was Kadire's little fly ball down to right that landed in the basket. I can't think of another opposite field home run. Tony's hit one to straightaway center, but can you think of any other home runs hit to the opposite field?
Isn't it a shame that they actually built a ballpark that might be pitcher friendly? My goodness.
No, but I mean, how many home runs did we see Mauer and Morneau hit to left field?
Yeah.
Kadire hit to right.
Right. Well, this is a different ballpark, so they'll have to make the adjustment.
And if you want to hit one out, you might have to pull it out, because it sure doesn't seem to be giving up too many home runs to the opposite field.
Again, we've seen that where Joe Mauer hit that ball. We've seen some balls that we thought, are gone, like J.J. Hardy in Game 1. Kadire's hit a couple out there, right to that 377 mark in the Budweiser sign out there. That ball seems to die. But down the line, 339, you hit it there. We've seen a couple home runs down that line.
2-0 to Rodriguez. And now a strike. Yeah, Kadire, whenever they replace this ballpark with another one, Kadire will go down as having the 2 shortest home runs ever hit here. The one little pop up down the line to left that just barely cleared the wall, and the one into the basket in right field.
Well, maybe what they should do is what they did to Tiger Stadium, put a temporary fence in and put the bullpens actually out in left center or right center. So there could be more, hitter friendly.
Still think they ought to lower the mound. 2 gone here, and
I like a 1-0 ball game.
I didn't like the one this afternoon.
No, it didn't go in our favor, but still, you don't see a lot of those anymore. I think you are recently over the last couple of years because of the steroid situation.
3-1 to Rodriguez. And they pitch him carefully with the left-hand hitting Cano on deck.
Second walk of the ball game for Liriano, but like you mentioned, he started falling behind, and Rodriguez get paid a lot of money to beat you.
Comes Rick Anderson to the mound. 74 pitches for Liriano.
Quick trip to the mound by pitching coach Rick Anderson.
Cano equally dangerous against righty or lefty pitchers. And our trivia question, the last Twins pitcher to defeat Andy Pettitte, I said Brad Radke.
Yeah, I looked at my records, and I go way back to 2001.
Yeah.
Brad Radke ended up beating Andy Pettitte 2-1 in that ball game. Doug Minkiewicz hit a solo home run in the 7th inning to beat Andy Pettitte. Both of them threw complete games in that start. Twins won 2-1.
Well, that might be the answer to another future trivia question. When was the last time the Twins were involved in a game where both starters went the distance? Here's Cano. Pair of singles up the middle against Liriano.
I don't know if that showed that, but that was here in Minnesota at the Metro.
Right. And a nubber, and Liriano has a play and throws him out. So the Yankees get a leadoff double.
Great visit by the pitching coach, Rick Anderson.
Jeter left at third, still tied at 1. Tied at 1. The Twins coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. And J.J. Hardy leading things off. Sharply hit on a couple of hops to Cano. 1 down. Ron Coomer, a pitcher's duel here between the Yankees and the Twins.
Well, we definitely have a pitcher's duel right now, and one thing that's going to keep it going that way, at least for the next 20 to 30 minutes, is if you look out into center field, the sun right now is right on the white sign of Minnie and St. Paul, and the two guys, it's really, really white and really glaring, so you're going to see a lot of sun. It's going to be tough to pick up breaking pitches off Andy Pettitte right now.
Harris takes a strike.
That's another thing they should probably fix here.
Get rid of the sun?
Get Minnie and Paul to move over a little bit. Yeah, get rid of the sun.
We tried that. It didn't work too good. Well, of course, the Yankees had just the opposite problem in their new ballpark last year. Balls were flying out like Titleists. Down low, 1-1. Twins have not hit a homer at all in over 7 games. There you see the bright sunshine against the Twins logo in center. Harris loses the bat. It's 1-2.
It's the second time this season that Twins have seen Andy Pettitte. Now, just looking at, when trivia question about Brad Radke beating Andy Pettitte. Well, they faced him in 2001. They didn't see him again until 2005. There were 3 seasons that the Twins played the Yankees and didn't see Andy Pettitte at all.
Somewhere in there, Pettitte was down with Houston.
Right. Well, those might have been the years. Maybe that's why. That's very good. I didn't think about that.
Clemens brought
4,
him down
5,
there.
and 6.
Yeah, there you go. Harris takes a called third strike, and it's out, number 2 in the 5th.
Yeah, it didn't even dawn on me that he may not have been with the Yankees. Pettit picking up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
Okay. Well, the Fox Tracks has not given us a very flattering composition of the strike zone from the umpires this year. Drew Butera had a bounder right up the first baseline, and Teixeira smothered it, turned it into an out.
I think it just shows, Dick, that every umpire, you can have all those you want, a little bloop, and Derek Jeter's going to catch it for the final out. Every umpire has their own way of calling balls and strikes.
Whether it should be that way or not.
I am Ernie. I just want everybody to know, too, there's 315 more days until my birthday.
What year will that be? What birthday?
That would be number 60, big 60 coming
Wow.
up. Yep.
We just welcomed Ken Herbeck to the one club here the other day. You're going to join another club.
Yes.
Marcus Thames taking strike 1 from Francisco Liriano, and there's strike 2. Thames, Cervelli, and Russo to face Liriano here in the 6th.
I want to say happy 12th birthday to Sam McMacken, one of our campers.
Craig McMacken.
Craig McMacken, yeah, his son Sam turned 12 years old out of Brookings, South Dakota.
Craig broke my bat this year. And was swinging an aluminum bat in the fantasy camp. That's it's your chance to be on TV as an Aquafina Kidcaster. And we'll give you more information here momentarily. Here's Cervelli, and he's taking ball 1. Cervelli walked in the 2nd, then reached on a fielder's choice, hustled down the line. The Twins couldn't turn a double play, or didn't. And Cervelli beat it out, and then Rosso followed with a double. And that's how the Yankees tied the game up in the 4th inning. 1-1 to Cervelli. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Well, Liriano with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Couple walks. 81 pitches so far. 53 have been strikes. Very good strike to ball ratio. He says his arm feels great.
Popped up, and Morneau will chase it near the railing and not be able to make the play.
Well, he had that railing to deal with right there. Justin had to go a long way for it. Ball just seemed to keep drifting away from him. Justin kind of seeing where he's at, and then just coming up short. So we're going to be on our next road trip. We're going to be in Oakland. That's an out in Oakland.
You got some foul territory there.
I got a lot of foul territory.
Swing of the foul. Still 1-2 to Cervelli. Hey, I want to pass along congratulations to Bob Card, the longtime St. Cloud Cathedral High School baseball coach, honored yesterday for 40 years coaching at high school and over 600 wins.
You know how many snotty-nosed kids he had to go through for 40 years? Liriano picking up his 2nd straight strikeout.
Anyway, Bob, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to you.
They're great deals at the great new ballpark, and maybe the best is a ticket in the alcohol-free Our Family section, courtesy of the Our Family brands. Limited tickets available this season. You can get tickets in the Our Family section for just $22, and that includes a Schweigert's hot dog and Pepsi. Log on to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS and order your tickets.
Can't you imagine Bob at home right now saying, they said my name.
Just because he's had to deal with those.
Oh, my goodness. 40 years.
Swing.
Tortured my high school baseball coach.
What was your high school baseball coach's name?
Dave Jarman.
Okay.
Dave Jarman. Very good coach. He just let us play.
Like he had a choice.
Yeah, sit back, let us play. We'll win. Let me pitch. That's all. Give me the ball. We had games on Tuesday and Friday, and guess who pitched on Tuesday and Friday? I did.
You didn't let anybody else pitch?
No, we didn't need anybody else.
1-2 to Kevin Russo. And lifted foul into the seats.
Well, it was Russo who hit the RBI double in that 4th inning to tie the game at 1 apiece. Liriano maybe going to strike out the side.
Maybe.
Still has
that
a chance.
pitch. Yep. 88 pitches for Liriano. He'd like to wrap things up here in the 6th and give the Twins another inning in the 7th.
Well, he left that slider up to Russo, and that's how he got that double. Now he needs to strike him out on a good slider down in the strike zone. Struck him out in the 2nd inning on a good slider down.
And a punch to left field. Delman Young will play it on a hop. A 2-out single will get the number 9 hitter Gardner to the plate.
Yeah, that was a changeup right there, and Russo keeping that barrel of the bat back and then softly hitting it into left field. So Russo picks up his 2nd hit.
Gardner chopped the ball between Harris and Hardy. Was last time up. Flew down the line, and Hardy gunned it across to get him by an eyelash.
Yeah, Yankees have at least 1 hit in all 6 innings so far. They put 2 hits on the board in the 4th.
Now hitting the Twins 7-5. Here's Gardner. Yankees 2nd in the league in runs scored. The Twins 6th. And we've had in 15+ innings 3 measly runs scored. That's into the right field corner. Russo around 2nd. On his way to 3rd. He's being waved in. Gardner around 2nd on his way to 3rd. Hudson's throw not in time, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead. And again, it's the bottom of the order doing the damage for New York.
Well, that's the balance of the lineup for the New York Yankees. Russo just getting called up about a week ago, his 2nd stint. Gardner replacing Granderson in the lineup, but he'd probably be there anyway. But right there, lining the ball, and Kadire shading him a little bit toward right center. The ball rolled all the way to the wall, and Gardner with an RBI triple.
So now 2-1 New York. And Jeter at the plate with 2 gone. Liriano struck out Timms and Cervelli. And Russo's 2-out single kept the inning alive. Gardner drove him in, now standing at third base. And Alex Burnett warming up in the Twins pen. There's strike 1. Jeter doubled his last time up. Doubled leading off the inning and then did not come around to score. One and one. White Sox beat the Indians 5-4 this afternoon. Kansas City beat Texas 5-2. Detroit lost an 8th inning lead of 3 runs and got beat by the Mariners 5-4. 2-1.
And Ned Yost down in Kansas City done a good job with that team, playing a lot better baseball.
Royals out of last place in the division. The Indians are there now. 2-1 to Jeter. Called strike 2 and 2, and Jeter didn't like it. And Honora didn't like the disagreement. And now pitch number 96 for Liriano. There, strike 3. Yankees take their first lead of this game on a pair of 2-out hits from their 8 and 9 hitters. Tonight's game, the Yankees took a 1-run lead in the 6th, and the Twins couldn't get it back. We'll see if they can take care of matters here in the bottom of the 6th. Span already has a couple of hits against Andy Pettitte. And he takes strike 1. Got 3 hits in game 1. So in the series, Bernard Span is 5 for 7.
Yeah, Pettitte's pitch count at 62 pitches. 49 have been strikes.
Twins haven't taken a walk. There can't have been too many 3-ball counts along the way. None. How about that? No 3-ball counts. Span rolls it up the middle. Cano is able to get him by a step. Good play by Robinson Cano. One away.
Yeah, very nice play right there. Cano only one error on the year. It's fun to watch infielders, especially middle infielders, how they can get behind the ball like that right there and just kind of flip it over to first with something on it. Span was hustling down that line.
Remember Jim Cotta broadcast Twins games for a while, then went on to do Yankee games for a long time. When Cano first came up, he likened Cano to Rod Carew at second base.
Oh, yes.
Very smooth. Strike one to Hudson.
We just showed you the pitch count of Andy Pettitte. The most he's thrown in one inning is 16.
Wow. Strike two. And Pettitte's had Hudson eating out of his hand here. He struck him out with Span at second in the first and nobody out. And then he got him to bounce into a double play in the third, getting ahead of him quickly here. 0-2. Pettitte is off the mound and gets Hudson for out number 2.
Yeah, that's what you want to do as a pitcher right there. You have to field your position. Once you release that ball, you become an infielder. And Pettitte coming off that mound right there on that kind of check swing and barehanding it and then getting it over to Teixeira as quick as he can.
2 down, Bauer to the plate. Time now for the Quest high-speed pitch. Brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Well, Lariano clocked as high as 96 and Andy Pettitte in 91.
Here's Mauer. RBI single in the first and a warning track fly ball to left in the fourth. If it turns out that this is going to be a ballpark where it's very difficult to hit it out to the opposite field, I can't think of anybody it's going to impact more than Joe Mauer.
Yeah, a lot of his power right to that one alley there at 377. Out in left center.
Tapping it foul. 2 strikes. And through his great years before last year, everyone thought that when Mauer hit for power, he would be pulling the ball and hitting for power, but he never really did that last year. He just got into a little bit of a groove, was able to hit a lot of home runs out to center and left. 1-2. Twins down a run. We're at the bottom of the 6th. Canada set down 6 men in a row. Close pitch, 2-2.
I know that for sure Joe Vavra does not want Joe Mauer to change his way of hitting. He's already won 3 batting titles, 28 home runs last year, drove in 96 runs. And again, it's still early in this ballpark. Doesn't mean to say, and when we come back off the road trip, or even, that it's going to change.
Bauer strikes out. Pettitte has back-to-back 1-2-3 innings and a 2-1 lead.
Cervelli, the catcher. And then we just saw Brett Gardner, RBI triple, scoring Russo from first base. That came with 2 outs.
Laureano drops an off-speed pitch over to Swisher, strike 1. How about the Red Sox? They're threatening to sweep the Rays. Won the first 2 games of the series, leading 6-2. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Good changeup right there. Good location. Yeah, the Rays with the best record in baseball coming into today's play. 32-13.
th pitch for Laureano. A 1-2 pitch to Swisher. He missed down and in. 2-2. Yankees and Twins had the same record as we began play today. And the Yankees won the completion of last night's game 1-0 on a Derek Jeter home run in the 6th inning. And now a full count with Teixeira on deck. Laureano has done a nice job here. The only trouble he's run into has been from the bottom third of the order with 2 outs. Gave up an RBI double in the 4th and a pair of 2-out hits in the 6th. That's down the right field line, and he'll twist back into the seats. Very pleasant night for baseball here. Last night, not so much. Called third strike at the belt. And Swisher becomes the 4th straight out recorded via strikeout by Laureano.
And strikeout number 6 in a ball game. Swisher, watch his action right here. Kind of diving into the ball, and the ball getting the inner half of the plate.
Here's Teixeira, 1 for 3. Ball 1. Remember when the Twins finally beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium? The winning pitcher was Nick Blackburn because he went beyond the 6th and gave the Twins that extra inning in the 7th inning, and he was rewarded when the Twins finally broke through in the 8th. Well, maybe that'll happen for Laureano here tonight.
Let's hope so. 105 pitches for Laureano. 69 have been strikes.
Great snag by Morneau, and he'll go to the bag. Out number 2. So one first baseman takes a hit away from the other. Doing more on defense, brought to you by Home Depot.
That is a great play right there by Justin Teixeira. Going the other way. Justin diving to his left and coming up with it and stepping on the bag for the 2nd out.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. A couple of ground balls and a walk. And timeout called.
That was timeout called by Drew Butera.
Foul back. Coming into play today, there have been only 2 teams. There were only 2 teams in baseball that had more than the Twins' 26 wins. The Rays with 32, and the surprising San Diego Padres, who last night won their 27th ball game.
Good for Bud Black in that organization. Bud Black, the manager of the Padres. Dodgers are playing very good baseball now.
Two and 1. A chance to watch some of the Padre game last night. Good to see one of my broadcasting heroes, Dick Enberg, doing some Padre games on television. The original touch 'em all, the guy who first used that as a home run call. Longtime Angel broadcaster. 3-1.
So that's where John Gordon got it.
3-1 to Alex Rodriguez. Now 3-2.
Good slider right there.
Got him looking. Liriano finishes with a flourish. 7 very strong innings, and he struck out Swisher and Rodriguez on a 1-2-3-7.
There you go. You are hereby circled. Very nice signs.
Left school early to get to the end of the first game. Here's Morneau on the first pitch. A little dribbler to second. 1 away. So Morneau quickly retired, and just about everything Andy Pettit's done here tonight has been done quickly. Just 73 pitches.
11 ground ball outs.
Get a behind-the-scenes view of Target Field. Public and private tours at this great new ballpark are now available. To find out ballpark tour dates and times, or to reserve a private tour for a larger group, just visit twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS.
Pettit has retired 8 straight Twin batters.
Last guy to reach was Kadair, who drove one off the fence in right center field for a double. Strike 1.
Boy, that's what he's been able to do. 23 batters, 17 first pitch strikes.
Kadair taps it foul, 0-2.
Pettit, one of those guys that gives you that good windup. There's so many pitchers today that don't really, come in and kind of give you arms and legs. And Pettit does a good job at getting to that balance point.
Raises his arms, his hands up over his head in his windup. Sharply hit. It hits the mound, but still skips into center field. So Kadair driving one hard up the middle for a 1-out single.
Kadair picking up his second hit, his second straight hit off of Pettit.
And that'll bring up Delman Young.
See it hitting the mound right there, but getting past Jeter, who was hit extremely hard in the center field.
Young with a single in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. Find it hard to believe that any lineup, particularly this lineup, could go nearly 8 games without a home run. Twins entered the season figuring, well, Mauer, Morneau, Kadire, Kubel be good for 25-30 home runs apiece, but they are in a home run drought. 2-0. Pettit tried to tickle the outside corner twice. See if Young can find a gap someplace or hit one over the fence. Twins looking to regain the lead, at least tie it up. To deep right center. Gardner drifting back and won't get there. Kadire got a good read. He's rounding third. He's coming in. Cano's throw to the plate, not in time. And Delmon Young has tied it with a double.
Fans have something to cheer about right there. Delmon Young with his 11th double of the year, kicking that fastball the other way. And that ball over the head of Gardner, hopping one hop into the fence. Gardner goes up to get it, barehands it. But as you mentioned, Kadire got a good read from first base. Scores the tying run. And the 22nd run driven in by Delmon Young on his second hit of the ball game. Dave Island, the pitching coach, out to talk to Andy Pettit and the rest of the infield.
So the Twins get it tied up here in the bottom of the 7th, a chance to take the lead with Hardy coming to the plate. Hardy with a fly ball to left and a ground ball to second.
That was the first time that Andy Pettit fell behind. He fell behind 1-0 on Delmon Young, and the Twins got the first hit off of Pettit because he maybe had to come in with that fastball to try to even the count. Delmon Young jumped all over it.
But you know, you see though in that case how critical the strike zone is. He missed just barely with one pitch, just barely with another one. You saw Joe Girardi's reaction. It's 2-0, and then Young rockets one, and suddenly you've got a tie game. Here's Hardy. And a pick off to second. And Cano scoops it out of the dirt. Ball one. Or excuse me, one strike. And the Twins dugout not fond of that strike call by Brian O'Nora. I thought it was a ball, but someone from the Twins bench reacted in disbelief. At the knees, according to Brian O'Nora.
Again, that's where the ball crosses the plate, not where Savelli looked like he caught it.
Hardy and Pettit gets Young hung out to dry. And Young trying to keep alive on the base pass, but Pettit stretching out and snaring the high hopper that was headed over the mound.
That's tough to read as a base runner, but Andy Pettit did the right thing. He made Delmon Young freeze. And then watch this ball right here. Watch Delmon Young. He's thinking, okay, it's by him. Okay, Andy Pettit runs at him, and you want to run him back to the bag he came from, and then flip it over to this being Cano, the second baseman, and he tags out Delmon Young.
Well, the Twins lost a runner in scoring position. And now they need a hit from the number 8 hitter. The Yankees have gotten a couple of big hits from Kevin Russo. Twins need one from Brendan Harris here. Harris hasn't been getting many hits. Average down to 179. Hardy not much of a threat to steal, but Pettit throws over there anyway. Twins, instead of hitting a home run, get a sharp single from Kadair and a drive to the fence in right center from Delman Young. Harris takes one down the middle of strike. Still bothered by a sore finger on his glove hand. Suffered the injury when he was swinging the bat. He's not been able to bat in a game since. He did enter game 1 as a pinch runner.
They got a cortisone shot in that finger a couple days ago.
Punto does not bring any power to the lineup. He does bring a lot of energy. And the Twins have missed that energy. 1 strike to Harris. Snap bat. And Jeter flips the short way. And the Twins are done in the 7th. But they get the game tied. Delman Young, his 22nd run batted in. 2nd hit of the game. And we're tied at 2.
Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. And by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet.
Robinson Cano facing Matt Guerrero and taking ball 1 as we begin play here in the 8th.
Yeah, Liriano worked the first 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, a couple walks, 7 strikeouts. Now Matt making his 21st relief appearance. No record on the year. Very good earned run average.
And strike 1, 1-1. Very high and wide, 2-1. Cano, Timms, and Cervelli due up. The Yankees have a bench of Juan Miranda, Brian Pena, or Tony Pena, I should say, Randy Wynn, and Chad Muller. Foul back, and it's 2-2. And the Twins, Ramiro Pena, I should say. The Twins have a bench of Kubel, Tomey, Casilla, and Punto. 2-2 to the Yankee second baseman.
busted bat. Nice pickup by Morneau. He finds Guerrero, one away.
Well, and that's what you want, that play right there. Justin going to his right, making a play, the pitcher's responsibility, get over there. And you want that ball as quick as possible, and that's what Justin tried to do to Matt Guerrero. See, Justin going and then get it, lead him over into the bag so Justin or Matt can get the ball first and then find the bag. So another nice defensive play right there by Justin.
It's sawed off like that. That ought to be worth 200 trees. Well, here's Juan Miranda, who's going to hit in the DH spot for 10. Miranda played first base in the first game last night and today and went 0 for 3. Ball one. Deep to center. Span going back. And he's there. Works both ways, doesn't it? That ball looked very scary as it left home plate. 2 down. Minnesota Twins have teamed up with the Minnesota DNR to turn broken lumber into new trees. Every time this season a Twins pitcher breaks an opponent's bat, 100 new trees will be planted in Minnesota state parks and trails. The Twins support the state parks, and you can too. Learn more at www.mndnr.gov. 2 gone in the 8th. Here's Cervelli. Strike 1. Cervelli walked in the 2nd. Beat out a double play grounder in the 4th, and then later scored on Russo's double. And then Liriano struck him out in the 6th. Ooh, that got Brian O'Nora. It skipped past Butera and got O'Nora in the right hand. 1-1. Back of the hand, maybe.
Take a look at what Nora does right here. You can see the hands kind of exposed and that ball coming into the chest area, and his hands kind of went into the chest area. These umpires aren't young chickens either, you know. I mean, they're up there in age, and they're out there. You know, they don't get the rest between innings. They don't take a half an inning off and go sit down somewhere.
They take a beating.
Oh, yes, they do.
That's why I was wondering, you know, given the situation we had last night, you don't understand. I don't think most fans understand the grind of calling balls and strikes. And there's a reason they rotate the way they do, to give an umpire who had the plate a bit of a break physically at third base the next day, and coming back today, whether we would have the umpires in the same positions. And we did. But I wondered whether Chris Guccione, whether they might not rotate umpires just because Guccione did 5 innings last night and was going to be asked to do 4 innings this afternoon. He did. 2-2 to Cervelli. And now 3-2. Rare trying to pitch a scoreless 8th, obviously. Would like to not let the Yankees get a base runner aboard. Maybe keep the middle of the Yankee lineup away from home plate in the 9th. Boy, did he have a rip at that. Rare might have left a pitch up, and Cervelli tried to turn on him.
Cervelli has only 1 major league home run. None so far this year, and he was trying to get a second one with that swing.
Just missed with a breaking ball, and Cervelli will reach with a 2-out walk. And Russo, who's gotten a couple of big 2-out hits already, is looking for another one. Rare just missed with a breaking ball.
See what Fox Tracks gives it. Again, Fox Tracks is in front of the plate. And even though you saw Drew Butera catch it low, it's where it crosses the plate.
It's a dissection of the strike zone using 3 fixed cameras. And it gives you a snapshot of where the ball crosses the front edge of the plate. There's strike one. And as I said, sometimes it doesn't give a real flattering picture of the strike zone of an umpire, but Major League Baseball owns the system. It isn't an independent company. It's the very same system umpires use to review their own performance. And Guerrero tumbles but makes the play. Gives up a walk. No harm done. Bottom of the 8th coming up in a tie game.
That is all on Quest Twins Live, immediately following the final pitch between the Twins and the Yankees. All right, Dick and Bert, get us a run here in the bottom of the 8th, will you?
We'll do what we can. The Twins threatened today in the 8th inning, but couldn't get it done. It's Drew Butera leading off the 8th here tonight, facing Andy Pettitte. At the knees, a strike.
Well, like Robbie said, this guy has been tough here this afternoon. Andy Pettitte. 27 batters faced now, 20 first pitch strikes.
To right center field, but Gardner sprints over, has it come out of his glove. Butera rounding second, and he's going to hold up there. Gardner got there, but couldn't hang on, and the Twins get a leadoff runner in scoring position.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Gardner went a long way for that ball. A double for Butera. He almost came up with a great catch. Butera taking that pitch the other way. And Gardner, who was playing him about even up, dove for the ball right there off the tip of his glove and then deflecting away. It was a right fielder, Swisher, that got the ball back in quickly. And a good decision right there by Butera, staying at second base. So Drew Butera getting his first extra base hit at the major league level.
See if Span, who has 5 hits in this series, is asked to drop down a bunt here. Rodriguez well in on the grass at third to share about even with the first base bag on the other side of the infield.
You'd like for Rodriguez to field it if you're going to bunt.
And it will roll foul. 1 strike.
As you saw Rodriguez go after that ball, and that leaves nobody at third base.
Span has 2 sacrifice bunts. The Twins as a team have only 8.
Dave Island coming out. They may talk about a play that maybe Jeter will cover third. That's Joe Girardi.
And have Jeter try to beat Butera to the third base bag.
We'll see what the Yankees try to do right here.
Yankees made a roster move, by the way. Boone Logan outrighted. And Chad Gaudin, a right-handed reliever, is supposed to be here in time to be eligible to play.
Play that also might be on is Andy Pettitte. That's your responsibility. Rodriguez will go back to third. That's exactly what's happening right here.
And now Rodriguez pushes the ball into foul territory. Butera was going to hold. He wasn't even going to try to advance. And the ball pops out of the Yankee gloves twice in this 8th inning.
Well, that's what Joe Girardi went out and talked about. You see Jeter taking off for third base. The bunt laid down in front of Rodriguez. And then he just tried to do a little bit too much. He will be charged, I'm sure, an error right there on Rodriguez. But a sacrifice should go to Span.
And you could see Butera. I don't know whether they'll give him a sacrifice because Butera wasn't inclined to go to third at all because the bunt was popped up in the air. Here's Hudson with the infield in. Smothered by the catcher Cervelli. So Pettitte, who has pitched so well here tonight, has 2 balls put in play here in the 8th inning. And both batted balls pop out of Yankee mitts.
Yeah, they do give Span a sacrifice bunt and then the error on Rodriguez.
1-0 to Hudson, and Span flops back to the bag. Hudson's had a tough night at the plate. He struck out with Span at second, nobody out in the first. Bounced into an inning-ending double play in the third, and then hit a comebacker to Pettitte in the 6th.
Well, Pettitte, no walks in a ball game, 4 strikeouts.
To Pettitte, and he gets a line drive snag for the first out in the inning. And that'll bring Mauer to the plate with 1 out.
Well, Hudson kind of got jammed right here. You see Cervelli sitting away, but Pettitte feeling his position and then spinning around, and all the runners hold. The runners at the corners, now 1 out.
Bauer singled in a run in the first. Hit a warning track fly ball to left in the 4th, and it went down swinging in the 6th.
Yeah, Pettitte struck him out on breaking balls.
Bauer with 2 sacrifice flies on the season. He'd like to get a third right here.
In the middle of the infield playing back. They're looking for the double play.
Taken low, ball 1.
And he starts him off with that curveball that struck him out in the 6th inning.
Teixeira holding Span at first. There's a big hole on the right side of the Yankee infield.
You have to be very careful again. Andy Pettitte, a great move to first base. Span just trying to get a comfortable lead. I don't think he'll try to steal a base here.
One and 0 to Mauer. Oh, strike 1-1.
First 2 pitches, that curveball. Well, he's sitting down and away. And a pitcher's pitch.
And the type of pitch that if you swing at it, you can't do much other than beat it into the ground. Mauer looking for something he can lift. Two and one.
Cervelli, a catcher that really moves in and out. I mean, his body is really on the inner half of the plate and in the outer half of the plate. I like that as a catcher because I always threw to the chest protector.
2-1 to Mauer.
Cervelli now sitting down and away. Another throw over to keep Span close. What that does right there, it doesn't allow Span to get a good lead in case a ground ball is hit to maybe try to break up a double play.
Two and one to Mauer.
Cervelli again way inside.
Checked his swing. 3-1. They appeal. Trying to appeal and no swing, says Chris Guccione.
First 3-ball count for Andy Pettit in this ball game.
Morneau on deck.
Very close.
Pettit has handled Mauer and Morneau very well here tonight. Mauer with the base hit in the first. A combined 1 for 6. Three and one to Mauer. Right at Jeter. And the Twins come up empty. First and third, nobody out, and Pettit pitches out of it. We go to the ninth, tied at 2.
And we talked about it, before. You play the Yankees, you need things to go the right way. You need good things to happen. And sometimes you try a little bit too hard. Joe Mauer hit the heck out of that ball, but right at Derek Jeter to turn a double play. Twins have hit into 3 double plays in this ballgame alone.
Sean Roush in the game, pitching to Brett Gardner, Derek Jeter, and Nick Swisher. Tied at 2, top of the 9th.
Yeah, Roush with 10 saves. His last save came against the Yankees in that comeback win by the Twins when Kubel hit the grand slam.
In that game, Twins had a 3-run lead. Wynn and Pena started the inning with base hits, and then Roush struck out Jeter on a curve in the dirt, Gardner with a high fastball, and Teixeira with a cutter. So he struck out the side after giving up base hits to the first 2 batters. And now he'll face Gardner, Jeter, and Swisher.
Again, this is a guy you want to keep off the bases. Very quick. Brett Gardner, 17 stolen bases.
3-1.
I make him earn his way on. No free passes.
Gardner's walked 19 times in 157 at bats. Got the inside corner to fill the count.
And Roush has shown very good control. Only 3 walks in 17 innings pitched.
Three and 2 to Gardner. Foul back. And again, he makes contact with 2 strikes. Another 3-2. Lifted behind second base. And Hardy squeezes it 1 away. Game 1 was decided in our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast in the 6th inning.
Yeah, this coming off of Brian Dunsing, the first home run that Brian had allowed. And it was off the bat of Derek Jeter into the Twins bullpen. And the Twins lost that game 1-0.
Jeter with a double leading off the 5th was stranded at third base. He's 1 for 4 here, and I keep wanting to call this a nightcap, and it isn't. The second game of this series. Curve lifted to left field. Very tall fly ball, and Delman Young is under it for out number 2. Roush struck out Jeter with a breaking pitch in the dirt in New York a couple weeks ago. Here it looked like he might have gotten away with one.
Well, he hung it up a little bit, and actually sometimes when high curveballs, the hitters can't get on top of it, and Jeter got underneath it and hit that pop-up. Watch the breaking ball right here. You see it up in the strike zone, and Jeter just got underneath it a little bit.
He hung it too much. Here's Swisher, double his first time up. Starts him with a strike.
Yeah, good curveball right there. He's got a good curveball, like 12-6 type break.
And Swisher takes 1-1. That's hit a long way to right field. And the Yankees take a lead on a Swisher home run. Swisher's 8th of the year with 2 outs in the inning.
The second home run that Roush has allowed. Might have got away with Jeter's high breaking ball. He did not get away with this pitch up in the strike zone. That looked like a fastball right there, and Swisher with that uppercut swing hits his 8th home run of the year. and gives the Yankees a 3-2 lead.
Strike on the outside corner to Teixeira. The Twins will have the middle of their lineup due up, but now with the Yankees leading, Mariano Rivera is getting loose. 1-1. That's hooked into the right field corner. Teixeira is going to have an extra base hit. Or will he? Kadire comes up throwing. Got him! What a throw from Michael Kadire from deep right field. Nevertheless, the Yankees take a lead in the top of the ninth.
Nick Swisher. And Andy Pettitte right there. Asked by manager Joe Girardi, how you feel?
At least to start the inning with Morneau, he's kept Morneau off the bases 3 times in a row, and that's not easy to do. So Pettitte might get a chance to pitch to Morneau, but then after that, Kadire and Young will likely have to face Mariano Rivera.
Again, this is his 467th Major League start for Andy Pettitte. His last complete game coming back in 2006 when he was with the Houston Astros. He had a couple back in 2006. And he's had 25 in his career. And Joe Girardi maybe giving Rivera some more time to warm up. He's on his way out.
And he's here. Brian O'Nora's hearing it from the Twins dugout. This flies in the face of baseball's attempt to speed up the game. And Ron Gardenhire's been written up, believe it or not, because of the violations in is supposed to be allowed anymore.
Well, remember, Swisher did this with 2 outs. He hit the home run. Rivera was not up yet. So once they got Rivera up, Andy Pettitte went out. And, of course, you get 8 pitches to go out there. And Andy Pettitte kind of took his time to throw those 8 pitches. That allowed Rivera to go out in the bullpen to throw at least 8 to 12 pitches. And then when he comes from the bullpen, he's got another 8.
Well, it will be Rivera who got the save this afternoon in the first game of this series. Faced 3 batters, walked 1, got a double play ball. He did not face Morneau, who will lead off the bottom of the ninth. Pulled hard and foul, 1 strike as Rivera greeted Morneau with the cutter. Morneau, Canayer, and Young. Cutter in further off the plate, 1-1.
Well, baseball should look at that, and if Andy Pettitte goes out there, maybe he should have to face at least 1 batter. Maybe that's the rule that should be put into play to stop this type of stuff.
And that's behind the second base bag, almost hit the bag. Morneau retired, 1 away.
Once Andy Pettitte went on the mound and starts throwing, then he should have to face at least 1 batter. That would stop that type of situation to happen.
Michael Canayer has got a good night going at the plate, a double and a single with the last 2 times up. Foul down the right field line, 1 strike.
Now, I don't know if this, I'm just going to bring this up, Dick. I believe if you're like a left fielder, okay, and you come in and between innings you're going back out to left field, you pick up that baseball, you get on the mound and just throw one to the catcher, you have to face 1 hitter. I'm almost sure that's the rule.
Oh, my, that hit the railing, I hope. Twins players leaning on the railing, and that one nearly got Jason Kubel. 2 quick strikes to Canayer.
Best thing baseball did is put up those screen nets in front of the dugouts.
Now inside. Canayer's double went off the fence in right center field. And again, from memory, he's the only one to, in this ballpark, have hit an opposite field home run.
Belly sitting way inside.
2-2.
We saw Rivera almost whistling like, whoa, that pitch was close. Good things happen when the full moon comes out.
And now 3-2. Delman Young on deck. J.J. Hardy would follow. Bouncer to short. Jeter throws out Canayer, 2 down. I don't know this. I know the Twins bench is very upset that the Yankees did this, but I don't know what the umpire can do other than wag his finger at the other dugout and say, you're not supposed to do that.
No, again, if Pettitte goes out there and starts an inning by warming up, he should have to face at least 1 hitter.
Young with a pair of hits, including a double to right center field, again off the fence, driving in the tying run in the 7th. 2 years ago at the Metrodome, Delman Young hit a 3-run game-tying home run against Mariano Rivera that went right down the right field line and just over the baggy and right. And the Twins need something dramatic to happen similar to that. Instead, it's a roller to third. And the Twins lose another 1-run game to the Yankees. They get a home run in the 9th and beat the Twins here 3-2.
Well, our Jimmy John's player of the game is Nick Swisher. A 2-out home run, giving the Yankees a 3-2 victory over the Twins.
Yankees have hit the only home runs in this series, Marty, and the 2 home runs they've hit have cost the Twins 2 games.
And Jeter this afternoon, Swisher tonight. And guys, Tim Laudner and Ron Coomer will join me for Quest Twins Live as we look at a great starting matchup between Andy Pettitte and Francisco Liriano, plus the role players, the bottom of the Yankees lineup doing some damage today. Reaction from Gardy and Girardi coming up next.